So I did my article on a plea for Captain John Brown, Part 2. A little background information. Captain John Brown was a man that led a little revolt by raiding an arsenal in Virginia with the intentions to arm slaves to free them from their slaveholders. And the whole thing failed. It was they were all killed or captured after 2 days. And Captain John Brown was tried and convicted of treason and was hanged for his actions. And now this whole article by Henry Thoreau was all written about Captain John Brown and how he was this awesome guy, and that everybody who convicted and tried him was just not so awesome. He goes on with, I'll give you one quote that really said how awesome he was. It said, "No man in America has ever stood up so persistently and effectively for the dignity of human nature, knowing himself for a man and the equal of any and all governments. In that sense, he was the most American of us all." So you can really see what Henry Thoreau thought of Captain John Brown in that quote, and this whole article really displays how awesome he thought he was. In the article, he says that the guys that convicted him thought John Brown to be insane, but Henry Thoreau argues that John Brown was really the sane guy, that all the other guys were insane for believing him to be insane for standing up against slavery, and how he really was against slavery. He didn't like that. He compared the trial of Captain John Brown to Pilate's trial, the Gessler's trial, and the Inquisition, and all those are three really bad trials, and that convicted a lot of innocent people for the wrongs they did. So you can see that Thoreau thought Captain John Brown to be completely innocent for what he did. And really, in the article, he started bashing on the government. He thought that the government, for convicting John Brown of his actions, was not in the right place to do that. He thought that they started to become tyrants, kind of like the British government before we established independence. And then towards the end of the article, he compares the event of Captain John Brown standing up to slavery to the landing of the Pilgrims and the Declaration of Independence, and he believes that it will go down in history and that it will always be remembered for something amazing that he did, and it will be in history forever. In this article, you can really see the romanticism throughout all of it. You can see that Henry Thoreau thought Captain John Brown to be a romantic hero by he was like an innocent guy, a really pure guy because of the actions he took, and that he acted on a higher set of qualities, of standards, other than the established government, on some higher principles than the government. This whole event happening is romantic because the article or the story of it happening was about him acting on his own instincts and what he thought was right, and which was completely different than what everybody else thought, what was already set standard. And Thoreau thought it was the right thing to do, but it was wrong, and Captain John Brown was willing to take the consequences for it. And I have a quote here. It said, "When I reflect to what a cause this man devoted himself, and how religiously, and then reflect to what causes his judges and all who condemn him so angrily and fluently devote themselves, I see that they are far apart as the heavens and the earth are asunder." And you can see that intuition is a huge part of this quote, which is part of Romanticism, that Captain John Brown went on his gut feeling what he thought was right, and the same for the judges. They thought what they thought were right, and they were just completely different, like the heavens and the earth are apart. And I have another quote. It goes, "Misguided, garrulous, insane, vindictive. So you write in your easy chairs, and thus he would respond from the floor of the armory, clear as cloudless sky, true as the voice of nature is. No man sent me here. It was my own prompting and that of my Maker. I acknowledge no master in human form." And you can see that Thoreau throws in nature in this quote, that nature is innocent, and he compares that to Captain John Brown being innocent. And so you can see the romanticism here. And now this is a part of the whole thing overall. It was only 2 parts to this story, and this one was really about the argumentative part about how Captain John Brown was really innocent, and the people that convicted him were really the insane people, that they shouldn't have done that. And so as a whole, this really brought it down to earth and showed everybody that Captain John Brown was in the right place to stand up for slavery. And yeah, that's about it.